Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
The week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters include the future of the contested National Bio and Agro-Defense facility.
We look at California's mega drought and water regulations.
Heifer development is top of mind. We have tips for a successful breeding season and a look at the hands-on education offered on the ranch for some of the nation's top restaurant chefs and staff.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. Congress gave final approval to its $1.1 trillion spending bill January 16th that funds federal agencies through the fiscal year. The bill also avoids another government shutdown, at least through October 1st, and at least one significant funding commitment for animal agriculture. The legislation provides $404 million for the construction of the National Bio and Agro-Defense Facility, or NBAF, in Manhattan, Kansas. Construction of the modern NBAF facility has been on hold in recent months, with funding held up in congressional budget negotiations. Now, funding from the spending bill will go toward the $1 billion required for the facility, which will serve as the nation's leading research center for animal disease, vaccine development, and mitigation of dangerous foreign animal diseases like foot and mouth. NBAF will replace the current Plum Island Animal Disease Center in New York.
Proper heifer development prior to breeding season is essential for successful pregnancy rates, especially in the case of AI and estrus synchronization. Dave Patterson, a professor at the University of Missouri and longtime researcher of synchronization protocols, says producers should consider several key factors to properly prepare heifers for breeding. Factors that can help heifers conceive earlier, stay in the herd longer, and produce more pounds of beef during their lifetime.
In heifer development programs, I think estrus synchronization and AI are a logical consideration, in large part, first and probably foremost, given the fact that we know that heifers that conceive earliest and early during their first breeding season tend to stay in the herd longer and produce over their productive lifetimes more pounds of beef. So it's imperative that during that first breeding season we use tools that are available to help facilitate early breeding. The heifers need to have an adequate health platform in place to where the heifers are managed for long-term reproductive health. I think nutritional development of those heifers is critical. I'm a firm believer in the pre-breeding exams that involve a reproductive tract score and even a pelvic exam. So there's things that can be done before the breeding season that I think will help identify potential problems, but also be a good gauge as to whether those heifers are ready to synchronize.
The USDA released its first water supply forecast of 2014, and news is grim for California. While the drought has changed little throughout most of the country from Massachusetts to Nevada, in California, conditions went from bad to worse. In the latest drought monitor, almost 2/3 of California was categorized in extreme drought, the highest percentage ever reported for the state. Governor Jerry Brown has declared a drought emergency, helping to maximize water resources through the state. Top-end restaurants like the El Gaucho chain offer high-end steak and seafood to their clientele and depend on the best quality beef available, such as certified Angus Beef Prime. But consumers still want more information about the beef they buy, so the restaurant partners with the brand to educate its chefs, servers, and other representatives about what it takes to raise quality Angus beef, and that helps drive demand.
We've got cattle production in one part of the country, and yet cattle consumption, beef consumption of the premium stuff really on the coastal cities. And so out of Seattle, we have a fairly sophisticated consumer. They may not know everything about beef, but they actually do. They are interested and they want to know what is going into the cattle, how they're grown, where they're from. And so that's one of our jobs is how do we develop our servers? We do that through our training programs where they go through cow school or CAB class. They learn about all the different cuts, our aging processes. But we also take our staff off-site to go to ranches and farms to learn more about the cattle industry, learn where their stuff's coming from.
Calf health is a big consideration for cattlemen during the calving season. That's true in both traditional and confinement settings, where most health problems could occur within the first 3 weeks of a calf's life. David Smith of Mississippi State University offers tips for addressing potential problems at calving time.
These systems they're all a little bit different. You have different resources available, different types of manpower, different sources of capital, facilities. but still we can think about what those problems might be and what we might do to be proactive about preventing them. A lot of people worry that in confinement the calves are closer together, more able to transmit pathogens, and that's true. But those same things occur even in really large, extensive pastures. So cattle still congregate around water sources. If there's feed being supplemented, they congregate around that supplemented feed. So we're thinking about then that we want that cow at that body condition score 5 or close to that at calving. Mid-gestation, not a lot of extra energy requirements, but as that calf gets a little bit larger, we need to start paying attention to, protein supplementation.
We go now to Jenna McCrell with a look at some other headlines you may have missed.
Thanks, Crystal. While you may be eager to get started rebuilding your herd this spring, the University of Nebraska Extension says it's important to ask a few questions before making that first purchase. They recommend doing some quick calculations to evaluate the net present value, or what you would be able to pay for a bred female in order to meet a desired rate of return. This value is based on estimated production, costs, and prices. Visit beef.unl.edu to read more or find links to online tools to help determine these values. And keeping a farming operation profitable through volatile markets requires some advanced planning and creative solutions. If you are in the Texas area, consider attending a workshop presented by the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension Service and the Risk Management Agency that gives an introduction to futures and options marketing tools. The seminars will take place in 6 locations over the next 3 months and will give producers an in-depth look into margin accounts, short hedges, and futures and options markets. To learn more, visit Agri-Life Extension online. And cattlemen from throughout the country will be meeting in Nashville, Tennessee this week for the 2014 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. We will cover news from the Cattle Industry Convention in future episodes of the Angus Report, and you can stay tuned to the Angus Journal's online coverage website, forcattlemen.com. And those are just a few quick headlines for your week in the cattle business.
Thanks, Jenna. When the Angus Report returns, we sit down with Paul Heifer, an agribusiness CPA, to discuss smart financial decisions on the ranch.
And we visit with Gordon Stuckey, American Angus Association President, about the Angus breed and the year ahead.
Visit Angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
Your herd, your business, your family. You've always protected what matters most, so you know how important vaccinations are for healthy cattle. And with Vista vaccines from Merck Animal Health, you know you're covered. No other vaccine works like Vista. Only Vista gives you complete dual-action pneumonia protection and complete one-dose fetal protection for the entire pregnancy. Protect what matters most. Talk to your veterinarian or animal health supplier about Vista.
When forage quality is low, power your cow herd with VitaFerm Power products. Power Keg, Power Meal, and Power Lick Tub. All 3 deliver natural 20% protein and are fully fortified with Amaferm, the digestive enhancer, and can septate levels of vitamins and minerals like copper, zinc, and manganese. VitaFerm Power products include the minerals your cattle need to maximize reproduction and health, which means you don't have to feed minerals separately. VitaFerm Power products for cattle on mature forages, crop residues, or low-energy hay. Learn more at VitaFerm.com.
Join us at 11 a.m. on February 8th in Sumter, South Carolina for the Black Crest Farm Cow Herd Reduction and Bull Sale. Managed by Cotton & Associates, this sale is 50 years in the making. Our focus has always been to produce functional cattle in a real-world environment with the commercial cattleman's profitability in mind. Featuring over 200 females and 80 registered and commercial Angus bulls. This is our largest sale ever. Call or email for a sale book. We look forward to seeing you at the farm on February 8th. Bring a friend.
Recognize this? It's your $1 per head beef checkoff investment that does all kinds of things to help make sure consumers feel good about buying your beef. Like working with chefs around the world to create new beef recipes and put more beef on the menu. Or educating healthcare professionals about how beef fits into a healthy lifestyle. Or by helping you share your beef story with those who have questions about where their food comes from. Get to know your checkoff and start sharing your views at mybeefcheckoff.com.